because we got Bokonko back on a pretty similar Spectra setup compared to our last set. Let us start our lower bracket matches, Tripped.
Indeed, indeed, and still very exciting ones. I mean, still they got a lot to live up to as far as how exciting those last two were, but still in their own rights, we got some very exciting action going on. So far, Rikka kind of getting some big damage on this Scythe. As you said, he does study this thing. He has gone to Scythe University under Sandstorm and Dr. Phazon. You know, them two have really cooked things up. And you can see he's definitely a prodigy of them. He's right now tearing things up. Bokonko not really able to answer us thus far. We're gonna see, but still, Petra's a really strong pick, as we saw from our previous match. So, you know, obviously things we turn around very quickly. Rikka on those gauntlets, and so was him, but nope, he's gone. Or he's gonna take out the stock.
Bokonko. I mean, the gauntlet ditto maybe not is not quite what they need, but I mean, I'm a little bit worried about how Bokonko is gonna run into Rikka's Scythe, because Rikka, yeah, no, as we said, very experienced and intelligent Scythe player, but how much is it going to stand up to Bokonko's orb? That's going to be the real question we're going to see here. Bokonko probably doesn't want to spend that much time on gauntlets, and I kind of understand them after that gauntlet ditto went in Rikka's way, but still, that still leaves the larger problem in the room. How do you deal with Rikka's Scythe? That is that is the thing I'm most worried about for this patch rate.
True, but right now, it's actually the orb once again getting a bit of a stride, and things are relatively even now. Rikka,
wow.
The lead that he built up in the beginning of this match has been dwindled away with this orb. Still trying to fight back, grab himself a side air on the Scythe, getting really far out there, taking the sweat beads. Bokonko, oh my goodness, they're both just inches away from SDing from those sweat beads, but it's going to be a side air to barely close out that stock, and Bokonko will take the lead himself.
Bokonko trying to guard the weapon. So far goes pretty well until Rikka hits an uppercut. Able to grab the Scythe. Now, the Scythe is actually maybe I would have preferred gauntlets, because gauntlets I think has just a tad more KO options. But hey, Sair, pretty darn nice way to do it. The Scythe Sair I think is just always going to be a good move. Just how it fundamentally works. It covers a large space. Yeah, Rikka now on Scythe. I feel like now is a better time to have Scythe when you're trying to build up damage. Scythe is a very damaged weapon. You hear people say the string weapon, it's a combo weapon, and sometimes it's a little hard to make sense of that, but it's a or at least what that means. But it definitely makes sense when you consider that it's a damage weapon. Sometimes, even though it might struggle to KO a little bit, it is able to deal damage after damage after damage after damage, but Rikka is going to have to deal a little bit more damage to kind of come back from the lead that Bokonko has started to build up on him to secure this game one.
That right there was very close, going back and forth. Both of them had a difficult time getting the KO, but Bokonko in the end able to give himself that side air and secure it. And yeah, that's honestly where I see a lot of, you know, neither of them have a really like super solid killing weapon. Of course, you have Orb that has the one KO confirm of Sidelight, Side Air. However, it does take a while to get those KOs, as you just saw. So it might take a while to get those good, decent confirms, and might see a lot of matches drag on into the dark reds for health, like we saw right there. So interesting. We definitely a lot of room for outplay, and they're both very close. We saw the lead kind of shift back and forth, and honestly, I feel like it could be relatively the same throughout this set. But we're only in game number 1, going into game number 2, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, calling a game 5 after a game 1 is always really tough, but this is one of the cases where I'd actually perfectly understand it. If someone walked up to me right now and said, I bet $5, this is game 5, I'd hear them out. I'd hear them out. For both of these players, this is a go next. Both these players, I think, are still learning each other, because we did have some moments where both of them weren't going full send. We did have some moments, you can even see through the clips that we have, they were missing some of the reads, and they were really only able to fall back on the more basic kind of bread and butter options that they have. So I think as these players are still learning each other, that's what makes this game such a nice go next, and hopefully we'll start to see something a bit more exciting here. Maybe Rikka can show us something to Scythe. Maybe Bokonko can like throw out another orb ladder combo like a few minutes ago. Maybe Bokonko has been really labbing these gauntlets and is able to work a miracle on Demon Island, as Bokonko was already starting to play a little bit more aggressively, throwing Rikka off stage. Rikka doesn't know how to deal with it. Do we have ourselves a 20-second stock? No, we do not. It makes it back. Open ham though, all the damage has already been done. Orb, I think, is the single out of the three weapons that we have in this set. Orb, I think, is the best KO option. I think it is the best of the three on screen. Thank you for proving me right. My ego is inflated, and I will continue to be arrogant.
Well, sorry to deflate you for a second, but Scythe, in its own way, can be better for KOing if you are going to go off stage and get these huge strings. And Rikka has done a great job at building damage with the strings, but I haven't seen too much of like as far as like trying to take Bokonko off stage and get a huge 0 to death. It's really more about the consistent damage, getting those reads, which I absolutely respect. But it will be a little bit hard to get those KOs, but actually Rikka says, shut up, Trips. I can get that right there. Even dipping off stage, that was strange. Okay, Rikka, we got a weapon starve. And he's going to keep on that Scythe, right? He wants to keep up this aggression, probably get some more big strings. One read is going to build a lot of damage. As you said, Scythe really does have a lot of piece-by-piece damage that you can get, so it's really difficult if you get pieced up. But Bokonko has done a good job so far getting this back down. Maybe he can get himself a recovery for this KO. I mean, Rikka's got a lot of room to, or sorry, not a lot of room. He's got little room. He has no room, in fact. He's got to get this back before Bokonko sigs and takes the stock away.
So these gauntlets have been lights out. Like, this is, sometimes when you think of adaptation, you think of someone like slowly changing a habit throughout a game or two, but no, Bokonko is making game 2 look so much different from game 1, looking to expand their lead, keep going, although Orb in hand though is gonna have to maybe do a little bit of juggling. You see a few nairs, you see a few N-lights, maybe we'll see a few D-lights, maybe a few recoveries sneak in, but no, Rikka is able to sneak in their own recovery, and Bokonko is not able to make it back from that. Rikka has quite a mountain to climb, but it is definitely within the cards.
Indeed. I like the ground pound he did. I liked how it was looking like he was going to go for a jump ground pound, but instead he did a very quick second jump and then a ground pound, which would catch that dodge that Bokonko threw out. So good job to him. But at the same time, he's got a lot to work with here if he wants to get this KO. So here we go. Oh, recovery. Going to take that away, and Bokonko is going to take a second game in this set and now bring it to the set point, and potentially Rikka's last game in this entire tournament. If he cannot win this one or loses one of the next 3, it's going to be lights out for him.
Ooh, watching the map banning, Rikka left the 3 usual culprits, Small World's End, Demon Island, and Fortress of Lions. We're not wanting any new maps. I was just about to say, like, oh, maybe Rikka would probably want a new map. No, the guy knows where he's comfortable. And so we're heading right back to Demon Island, and we're really hoping that Rikka has something up in these sleeves, or else he would be going home at 7th here. Bokonko's gauntlets are becoming a really tough task to stand up upon. I think I probably spent too much time talking about Rikka's Scythe, which, as good as it is, Bokonko's gauntlets are really they're just so clean. Like, it just finds a way to make him connect, and he's able to use, like, sometimes he chase dodges down for a nair or a dare, and it just, you don't often see that. And the orb sidelight stare 30 seconds in, Bokonko is just lights out right now, and then we're back on gauntlets for the D-light dare, and Rikka has to run away for the Scythe. Okay, Petra is just winding up now.
Insanely so. And I mean, did you see the gravity cancel sidelight on the orb? I gotta tell you, that move, like with the gravity cancel, it just becomes exponentially better because the way it just catches you out. Hello, Bokonko going off stage trying to get a break dance. Rikka pressured off stage, a sidelight side air is gonna send him out. Could he take the stock? Wait! Oh my goodness, Bokonko, what are you doing? Completely disrespecting him. This is just dirty.
What is this? It's not too often that we see Bokonko make their way through top 8, but by goodness gracious, when they do, they make it a worthy watch.
Hello? Oh my goodness. Rikka left hanging out to dry. Look at this. Almost a 3 stock, but a recovery finally saving Rikka from the humiliation. He is able to get himself that stock and bring things to a albeit very difficult situation, but hey, everything is winnable, so I'm not going to call it just yet. And look at this, already going on stage with the scythe, but he reads down, and Bokonko looking to punish that, but he's not able to. Throws the weapon to try and buffer Bokonko off of him, but Rikka still struggling. Recovery, just going to do it. And Bokonko, a 3-stock, a very dominant 3-stock, or no, not a 3-stock, but a 3-0 coming out. Yeah, honorary, right? No, but a 3-0 in the sets and almost a 3-stock to end it off. Well done to him.